We are live, and apologies for being late because sometimes technology, and since we are technologically challenged, it does take us some time to get our act together. We thought we'll talk about the IPL today, but as me and Vikrant both realized, that list of 590 players, actually that list. And
He's done the due diligence.
yeah, we went through all the 590 players, and I think just doing half baked thing without good homework, we thought no, let's do this tomorrow. And if we come and just say five players that we were going to talk about five players that will be big dark horses that no one is picking, but will go for a lot of money. So that will be done tomorrow. But today there's another big story, and I thought we must talk about it.
There was one big story yesterday also.
Saurav
Do
Ganguly.
you want to touch upon it, or
Yeah, sure.
What's today's story?
Today's story, I thought yesterday that interview that Virat gave, where he
Okay.
said that you don't have to be a leader to be a captain. So he's saying, okay, fine, I may not be a captain, but I will be the leader in the team. Now, I can read that statement in multiple ways. First thing, and we'll look at all those ways one by one. First thing that comes to my mind, at least, people thought that there could be some sort of, awkwardness between the new captain and the old, and will Virat be fully supportive of the new captain Rohit? But once he gives a statement out like this, it does tell you that no, he still wants to be a leader. He still wants to lead the team. Doesn't matter who the captain is. So that's a good thing. He wants to be participating in the entire process. Is that how you read it too? The
No,
first
it
thing?
has to be like that. I mean, Virat Kohli has been your captain for so many years.
Yeah.
In fact, the entire team, which would now play under Rohit Sharma, including Rohit Sharma, they prospered under Virat Kohli's captaincy. So it'll actually be the first time that they'll play alongside each other after the change, the switch. I don't think the World Cup was the last, and after that, the New Zealand limited overs games and the Test matches, and then the South Africa. So both of them have not been together ever since the World Cup ended. So it'll be the first time. In fact, they must have met yesterday.
Yes.
And
I saw some pictures in social media of them hugging. I don't know whether they were true or not.
they were old pictures.
Old pictures.
Yeah.
That's what
There was this
dangerous.
clickbait कि वो रोहित शर्मा रो पड़े. But I saw the story. वो रोहित शर्मा रोए नहीं थे वहां पे कहीं पे.
Purani picture they used.
Yeah, whatever. But Virat has to be an integral part of Indian cricket. He will continue to be one of your most important players. Rohit is the captain, Nikhil, and much as we appreciate Virat for saying what he did, and I think he also admitted how MS Dhoni, after he left captaincy, still continued to be in a position where he could give Virat the inputs, or Virat could go to MS for inputs. I'm sure Rohit Sharma will do the same. He will go to Virat for any inputs that he needs, and Virat should also not hesitate in going to Rohit with some suggestions. But that change, the transition, and this transition have been different. I mean,
Yeah, that was
it was natural progression.
correct. He chose.
This one isn't. This one isn't.
That's why I
So
said
the first few days will be important. How the first few games go, and then it becomes a template, Nikhil. It becomes a template. See, Virat plays for India.
Yeah.
Rohit plays for India. Virat was somebody who wanted India to be at the top of the world when he was the captain. And when he's not the captain, he would still want India to be at the top of the world. Rohit, when he was not the captain, wanted India to be at the top of the world. And under his captaincy, he would again strive to be the same Rohit and the same player that he's been. The only thing is, there would be some change in the way the team is going to approach limited overs cricket. So that again, Nikhil, is not science.
Yeah.
Maybe one game and then you get used to it. Maybe 10 games. You don't understand the new system fully. So I think it'll be important to see how the first 3 games go. Only then we'd be in a position to.
Okay, my only point was because this is the first time we saw them meeting, or they would have met by now because the team has reached the first time the captaincy has switched. And as you said, the difference is that in previous occasions they gave up captaincy or natural progression. This time it's not. Now, would there have been a conversation, or should there be a conversation with the coach, captain, and Virat, the new coach, new captain, and Virat, and sit together and whatever little uncomfortableness maybe they're just iron that out or whatever, even if it's planning. Do you need to do that? Would you, if you were the new captain, want
Of
to do
course,
that?
of course,
How,
of
how
course.
does that help?
Well, again, Virat should feel welcome. Virat should feel that he still is the most important set piece in this entire Indian team. And it is up to the coach. It's up to the captain to tell Virat that he still is the most important player. And for Virat to get that confidence from the captain and the coach would mean a lot, Nikhil, because, you know, leave aside what media says, leave aside what happens on the social media.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there were a few hiccups between the two, not as individuals perhaps, but maybe as cricketers, as senior cricketers. But again,
So I spoke to Gautam Gambhir yesterday. And asked him the same question, that what would you like the new coach, which is Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma, to tell Virat Kohli to make him feel comfortable? He said, why should anything change?
Yeah.
Your job. Virat shouldn't expect anything. Rohit doesn't have to speak to him at all, because you're playing for India. Everyone knows their job. You have to go score runs, win the game for India. You didn't start playing cricket to be the captain.
You don't need a
Captaincy is
coach
not-
then. You don't need a coach then. You don't need a mentor for the IPL teams as well.
Fair point. Yeah.
So even in the IPL, why would you need a mentor? The players know how to win. The captain knows how to win. I think it is important to have that conversation, to have that communication, and to have that positivity in the dressing room. See, Virat is somebody who would make the team either swim with him,
Yeah.
or a major chunk of the team can sink with him. If you make Virat feel wanted, if you make Virat comfortable, and if Virat adjusts to the new life, the entire dressing room would be happy. And Nikhil, it is not about Virat or Rohit. I think even Avesh Khan, any junior player, even he wants to know what his role ought to be. So I think it's very, very important for the senior players to have that communication going. And it'll be easier for Rahul Dravid also. See, we talk about the players, we talk about the captains, but Rahul Dravid is also a protagonist in this entire story.
Absolutely.
Rahul Dravid is the coach. He's also been one of India's greats. He's just joined the team. And see, ever since he joined the team, what's been happening on the field, off the field.
Yeah.
So he would also want his flock together. That can only happen if there is communication within the leadership.
Okay. One other thing that Virat talks about in his interview, saying that, see, a captain's job is to bring in culture. And the culture that I got into the team was that we can win from any situation, and the team started doing it. So that was my responsibility. I now understand we were talking about there will be a different culture that Rohit Sharma will bring. But I'm talking about Virat's contribution apart from being a batsman now. What are the certain things that Virat still has, which the team needs, which Rohit doesn't? Like, one thing that comes to my mind is that aggression. Rohit is a much cool, calm sort of a character. But sometimes, I mean, I personally enjoy the kind of aggression that Virat brings. Being a leader, because he's saying I'll continue being a leader, can he ensure that continues, that intensity in terms
What
of
is aggression?
No,
Now,
I'm talking about over.
I have seen a number of times Rohit hitting a shot and ticking the bowler off. Go, fetch the ball.
Yeah.
That is also aggression.
Absolutely.
Right? If you're the captain on the field, if you're in control of your team, if you're in control of your own emotions, and you're dominating the opposition batsman, that is also aggression. What exactly is aggression? Aggression cannot just be,
So AJ Iskon has a super chat on that. He says, in an interview with the ICC, Ponting was asked about aggression. He said, I already got an aggressive team. When he's talking about aggressive, as in like when they hunt like a pack of dogs, really go after their target. He's saying Virat brought that aggression, which, so not talking about, so people say that even Kumble was aggressive in his own way. Sachin was aggressive. But I'm talking about this overtly, in your face kind of aggression.
So that
intimidate the
no,
other
but that
team.
culture will continue. I'm not suggesting, or nobody's suggesting that now that Virat is not the captain, and since Virat encouraged his team to look into the eye of the opposition, and Rohit will ask the players not to do that. No, it's a culture. It's an ongoing process. Bumrah has to be the same Bumrah that he was under Virat.
But people pointed out that they saw subdued Virat Kohli in the South Africa series in the ODI series.
I think
if he became subdued, team might become subdued.
But again, you didn't have your main captain leading the side in those ODIs.
ODIs, yeah.
A. B. The test captaincy had just happened. So maybe it was also at the back of our mind when Virat had quit the test captaincy. And we don't know what must have been going through his mind. Now that your main captain will be back, he'll be leading this side. And again, the first question that you asked, how important is the conversation or the communication between Rahul, Rohit and Virat? So it's going to be an extension of that on the field.
Yeah.
So again, Virat would not be, when you're not the captain, and you know that the spotlight is going to be on somebody else.
Yeah.
So, you've got to an extent, temper your aggression, but not fully.
Yeah.
And again, Rohit is a different personality. But when I say Rohit was a different personality, his manner of approaching situations would be different.
Yeah.
Not in terms of cricket, but in terms of the so-called aggression. But I still find Rohit is as aggressive a player as any. And again, the definition of that word aggressive.
Yeah.
What is aggressive on the field? What does that mean? When Ricky Ponting was aggressive, was Steve Waugh not aggressive?
No.
Before Steve Waugh was Mark Taylor not aggressive?
No, but he said the team, he got a team like that, which was like that. In Virat's case, they made it.
I think that the legacy would continue. The culture, it's an ongoing process.
I had a comment here, Satvik Sharma, saying you guys are doing great. Try and get Harsha on the show someday. Not a bad idea. I'll try and get Harsha. Maybe not to talk about cricket, but just talk about his commentary generally. I know he's got a lot of fan following as well. Not a bad idea, Satvik. I'll pay attention to that.
No, Harsha is somebody who taught all of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
What television is all about, to be very honest.
Which is why I said great idea. I'll probably get him for a Q&A or something like that someday. I'll try to do
that. And he still is relevant.
Absolutely.
Somebody who started off in 92, 93 through radio and then television and then social media and the digital media, somebody who's still relevant means he would have definitely done something right.
Just missed one chat, but yeah, there was a question. We have to wind up because we have to go on Sports Talk as well. There was a question about Joffra Archer. I'll just address that question. I was firstly very surprised to see his name because he was one of the top players that was going to miss out because of a long-term injury. What's interesting is that he's not been available for almost a year for England because of his elbow injury. He said, I need longer rehab. And suddenly the IPL auction comes. I see a news item where he's saying, no, I'm trying to get fit for the recent series. And he's thrown his name into the IPL auction. We keep talking about.
So don't just blame the Indian players.
Exactly what I was saying. Don't blame.
Don't just blame the Indian players.
No, I would like the ECB, who have been very harsh on the English team, saying after losing the Ashes that we know you guys are playing the IPL. The commentators have said that. Let me see them take some action. But Joffra being Joffra, I know he's going to be saying, I couldn't care less. If you're going to take action against me, I won't play for England. I'll only keep playing franchise cricket. I mean, that's just my assumption. That's the kind of player that he is. But yeah, that's very interesting. He's one of the 590 players here. One of those players that we expected won't be in the auction. He is. We'll talk about that. Maybe tomorrow we'll try and pick 5 dark horses, 5 players that are under the radar.
Mock auction.
That are under the radar.
Let's do a mock auction.
Yeah. So every day we're going to do in a mock auction format. What team will go for?
No, I have an idea. I'll tell you off camera.
Okay.
Wonderful idea.
But for the moment, tomorrow we'll do 5 under the radar players, dark horses that we may fetch a lot of amount. Their base price may be very low, but the franchises might go for them. Some can be slightly older, some can be young. We'll make that list tomorrow. For the moment, thanks so much for joining us.
And don't forget the fact that the Indian under-19 team is playing their semi-finals tomorrow. India versus Australia. The game starts 6:30.
Yeah,
definitely. We'll be live on Sports Today.
Okay, see you. Oh, there's a super chat just when I was. Greg seems like a great man, he says. Kept quiet when he was being bashed after that whole Ganguly fiasco.
Who?
Greg Chappell. He says, do watch Ponting podcast. He talks about how VK's best year as a batsman might be ahead of him. Ambud Shukla, thank you so much. I will listen to that podcast by Ricky Ponting, where Ricky Ponting, as Ambuj is pointing out, is saying that Virat's best years as batsman may be ahead of him. And Ricky Ponting is saying that, so you have to take that very, very seriously. Just when we are about to wrap up, Robin Hazra says, ex-colleague Tahir Bhasin interviewed me in 2009 in the campus. Yes, I know. He's my ex-colleague now, a Bollywood star. So Robin says he got interviewed by a reporter who's now a big Bollywood star. Okay, he says, love you, Vicky Paji. Say hi to Robin Hazra. Huh?
Thanks, Robin.
Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow now. Bye.